Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ingrid Qualls, and I am the IBIE's Trade Show Manager. Thank you all for joining our final webinar on things to know for your final show preparations. Reminder, all previous webinars were recorded and can be found on our website at bakingexpo.com. Select Exhibitors, then click on Exhibitor Resources page. Today's webinar will be presented by Alyssa Stubbs. Alyssa is IBIE's Trade Show Coordinator, and I'm going to turn it over to Alyssa.
Good afternoon, everyone. To begin, we will go over a few housekeeping notes before we get started. Please take a moment to familiarize yourself with the GoToWebinar dashboard. On this slide, it shows a list of available widgets to you. I would like to remind everyone that all attendees are muted, and if you have any questions during the presentation, feel free to type them into the question box on your screen. Any troubleshooting comments can be shared in the chat widget, and someone from the IBIE team will get back to you. This webinar is recorded and will be posted on bakingexpo.com under Exhibitors and the Exhibitor Resources tab. During today's webinar, we will cover target move-in and move-out, show floor access and customer badges, show schedule and logistics, cost savings and critical dates, key reminders, and lastly, Q&A. This year, IBIE will be in the North and West Halls of the Las Vegas Convention Center. Next, we are going to move into material handling and reviewing target move-in and move-out. Target move-in for direct to show site. Your target move-in is your assigned date and time that your driver or carrier should be checked into the marshaling yard. Drivers must check in to the marshaling yard by your assigned target move-in date and time. When scheduling labor, please allow enough time for your freight to be delivered, approximately 2 to 4 hours after your carrier checks into the marshaling yard. Surcharges will apply under the following scenarios. Please see material handling form for pricing. If your freight is delivered off target, or if your freight is delivered after the deadline date. Target move-in for shipments to the warehouse. All direct-to-show site freight must be sent, crated, and arrive on the targeted move-in time to avoid additional charges for material handling. All warehouse shipments must be received before the warehouse deadline date and during warehouse receiving hours. Warehouse materials are accepted at the warehouse starting on Tuesday, July 12th through Thursday, September 8th. And after a deadline, surcharge will apply to any shipments received before July 12th or after September 8th. Warehouse hours are Monday through Friday between 7 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. Carriers arriving after 2:30 p.m. will not be checked in until the following day. All freight sent in advance to the warehouse will be in the exhibitor's booth at their targeted move-in time. Target move-out. Your target move-out is your assigned date and time that your carrier should be checked in for pickup at the marshaling yard. To avoid additional charges for material handling, all carriers must be checked in at the marshaling yard by your outbound target date and time. Charges will apply if carriers are not checked in by their target. Marshaling yard check-in time is not a freight loading time. Upon arrival and check-in at the marshaling yard, your carrier will be matched with a complete material handling agreement and will be dispatched to the dock upon availability. Approximate wait time for carriers to be dispatched to a dock for loading is 4 to 6 hours, as long as your outbound paperwork has been completed and turned in. Marshaling yard check-in. All carriers will need to check in at the Freeman Marshaling Yard. Be sure to share your target delivery date and time, as well as the marshaling yard map and directions with your carrier. The marshaling yard opens at 5 a.m. every day during move-in, and carriers must check in by their target time to be guaranteed unloading for your target day. Now we will discuss show floor access. Security will issue wristbands for all exhibitors during install and dismantle. Find your booth by following the hanging aisle signs. Confirm your orders at the Freeman service desk, including all vendor partners, electrical, internet, carpet, floral, etc. And be sure to have all tracking and confirmation numbers handy. Obtain empty stickers from the Freeman service desk. And look out for our IBIE floor managers and Freeman exhibitor concierge for assistance. Exhibitors will gain access to the exhibit hall with a wristband handed out from the security guard. Once the show officially opens, all exhibitors must have their badge to enter the exhibit hall. EACs will check in with the EACA to receive their contractor badge during move-in. Badges will not be mailed. Exhibitor badge pickup will take place inside North Hall and inside registration in West Hall on the second floor, Thursday and Friday. After Friday at 5 p.m., all exhibitors will need to go to registration in West Hall to obtain your badge. There are absolutely no children under the age of 13 permitted on the exhibit hall floor. This rule will be strictly enforced by IBIE management for safety purposes. Reminder, don't forget you have an option to extend a 20% discount to your customers. You can log into your exhibitor console to send these invitations. The show schedule. Saturday, education sessions will be taking place, and the expo hall will be open Sunday through Tuesday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Wednesday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Next section, we will review show logistics. Here we cover the booth drape package, carpet vacuuming, material handling, and lead retrieval. To continue, flooring is mandatory. Selling in the exhibit hall is prohibited. Make sure to note all union labor rules before arriving. And there will be 2 wash stations and 1 Freeman service desk in the North and West halls. Please see locations in the North Hall for the 2 wash stations and the Freeman service desk. And the locations in the West Hall. Next up, we have some exciting new show features for this year. They include the Artisan Marketplace, Best in Baking, Cannabis Central, the Great American Pie Festival, the Innovation Showcase, International Trade Center, Pizza Industry Information Center, Quick Bites, the RBA Baker Center, the Rock and Pint, Sanitation Pavilion, and Tiptree World Bread Awards USA. You can visit bakingexpo.com for more information on all of these show features. Next up, we have a few cost-saving tips and critical dates. Cost-saving tips. Order by all deadline dates. Pay attention to the target move-in and move-out date and time you have been assigned. Order labor on straight time. And don't forget to order your free complimentary lead retrieval provided by IBIE. Critical dates. August 10th, be sure to register your EACs and Freeman ordering forms are due. September 13th is the date that direct-to-show shipments can be accepted. A few additional reminders. OnMed offers virtual healthcare during the IBIE convention. OnMed includes unlimited medical consultations, instant prescriptions, and immediate access to medical professionals. The cost is an additional $5 per person. If you have already registered for your badges, you can go back into your registration dashboard and add this as an option. Additional reminders, new this year, Exhibitors who have at least 75% of their staff stay in official IBIE hotels will be eligible for an extra 3 priority points towards their total points for the IBIE 2025 space selection. Be sure to download IBIE's conference app. It is available in the App Store for iOS or Android by simply searching IBIE. Or you can click the link on this slide or scan the QR code here to download. Again, don't forget to order your free complimentary lead retrieval provided by IBIE. You can visit our website, select exhibitors, and then select sponsorships to see all sponsorship opportunities. For additional information, please contact Kelly Allen. Now it is time for Q&A. Ingrid, do we have any questions?
Thanks, Alyssa. Let me just check to see if we have any questions in here. Yes. Hold on one moment here. All right. Our first question, is there a specific time associated with the deadline? Is there a specific time associated with the deadline of the advanced warehouse on September 8th? I'm not sure if I understand the question. I see the email and the person who's asking, and I'll send you an email separately for this question. Next question, where can I see the recorded webinar? I need to show this webinar to my vendor. If you're asking about this particular webinar, as soon as we're done, we need to give the marketing team maybe 24 hours to get it up on the website under the Exhibitor Resources page. And just note that all of the other pre-recorded webinars are also included on the website under exhibits or exhibitors and then resources. Same question, when we get a copy of this deck, give us about 24 hours and we can have that uploaded onto the website. Do the exhibitors setting up booth need a badge if they are just setting up the show? No, they do not. So exhibitors during move-in are allowed to have wristbands from the security guard, but once the show officially opens, all exhibitors must have their badges. Next question, do we need to register the EAC for badges somewhere, or will they be given them when they get there with not prior sign up, then registration? So 2 parts. EACA will have a desk providing all of our EAC labor their own individual badges. So those will be separate than your wristbands for your employees. And then second part to this question, if you haven't signed up for EACA, you can definitely do that on site as well in order to gain access to the exhibit hall. Next question, where can I find food sample application and liability forms? You can log into your exhibitor console and click on Centerplate. And Centerplate is the official food and beverage catering company at the Las Vegas Convention Center, and you can order, submit your order form for sampling of food in the exhibitor services manual there. The next question, do you have to fill out a form in order to obtain a move-in badge? There are no move-in badges. You will receive a wristband from security guards. So once you arrive on site and you're going to the North or West Hall, we will have security guards at the door during move-in, and you would need to provide your company name. And if your company name is on the exhibitor list, the security guard will provide you a wristband for you to access in and out during move-in. Next question, did I see that vacuuming is provided by the show? Yes, only the night before, Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night. If for some reason when you come in the morning, your team is doing something different, or you need porter service or shampooing, you would need to order that directly from Freeman. And the form is in the Exhibitor Services Manual to order additional cleaning. Next question. For frozen materials, do they need to arrive before the move-in date? Where do they need to be sent to? Main hall, shipping, or receiving? So the forms for frozen and refrigeration are the labels, are in the Exhibitor Services Manual. And you can follow the instructions based on the need, whether it's frozen or refrigerated, on the labels. The next question, is frozen items considered direct to show shipments? Yes. And again, that information will also be included on that shipping label. That's very detailed, only because it is frozen and refrigerated, and Freeman will have to have the refrigerated and frozen trucks available. So you would definitely use those labels to send your material in there. Next question, is there a benefit for direct to show shipments over advanced warehouse? It depends on what your product is. So for example, if you have machinery over 5,000 pounds, you can't ship it to the warehouse. You would have to ship it direct to show site. If you want your freight delivered to your booth on your target date and time, it's easier for Freeman to have it at the advanced warehouse already. So by the time you arrive to the show, your freight will be in your booth. The next question, where do we pick up lead retrieval? Lead retrieval will be in the Freeman service desk area, one in the West Hall, and then the other Freeman service desk is in the North Hall. So you would pick up your lead retrieval at one of those service desk areas. How many attendees are registered so far? I will have to check on that. I'll write a note and make a note for myself to email this person back in regards to the number of attendees. Next question. If I only have a few things to carry into the show, do I need to do this only during the recommended move-in time listed? So you can hand carry items into the show. That does not mean that you can use a dolly or anything with wheels on them. If you can physically put them in your hand, in your arm, you can carry them into the show. Security will stop you if you're trying to bring a roller cart or anything like that, which would be considered material handling, and you would have to go through Freeman. Will there be communication to us when our crate is returned to our booth for a teardown? If so, how do I update phone or email for that? That information will be from Freeman directly. And when you arrive on site, you can go to the Freeman service desk. And during that time, you can also update your information for teardown with them. For the person who asked about how many attendees are registered, I believe Sam is on the line to talk about any questions regarding registration. Sam, are you available?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And so I can't share specific numbers, but I can say that we are pacing with 2019 almost to the dot. And more excitingly enough, our baker registrations from both a wholesale and a retail baker perspective, we are tracking 50% ahead. So while our numbers are flat with 2019, we are seeing less non-exhibiting suppliers register for IBIE, but our baker registrations are kind of off the chart, which is really great to see overall from an attendee perspective. I think just talking with members of the American Bakers Association and Retail Bakers in America is that you know, there hasn't been a baking show in quite some time, and they're all really excited to be there. So, like I said, we are tracking about 32% ahead in retail bakers and 18% ahead in wholesale bakers. So, really great, strong numbers, being about 7 to 8 weeks out from IBIE.
Great, thank you, Sam. Sam, you'll stay on just in case I have any additional registration questions.
Here for you always.
Thank you so much. Okay, so the next question, where do we order coffee and water coolers for our booth? That is definitely Center Plate, the official catering company at LVCC, and you can log into your exhibitor console. In the exhibitor services manual, you can find the Center Plate forms and you can submit your orders for coffee, water, bottled water, things like that as well. Do you need to show anything to obtain a wristband during setup? No, we don't ask for like IDs or anything like that. We just want to make sure that you are identifying your company name and the security guard is looking at a list. So as long as your company name is on the list that we've provide to them, you should be okay. Where can badges be picked up in North Hall? Great question. So we will have badges on Thursday and Friday for exhibitors to pick up. It's close to the service, the Freeman Service Desk Center. That's Alyssa shared the floor plan for their service desk. We'll also have a registration desk there for exhibitors to pick up their badges. And then after Friday at 5 p.m., if you don't get your badges at that location, you're going to have to go over to West to pick up your badges. Sam, is that correct?
That is correct.
Great, thank you. Okay, next question. If my move-in is at 1 p.m., what time should I order forklift labor to unload the truck? 1 p.m.? No. So on the slide, Alyssa had alluded to giving your driver or teams maybe 2 to 3 hours from your targeted time. So I would not recommend ordering at the exact same time. Next question. You mentioned everything will need to be crated upon arrival. Does crated include pallets that are shrink wrap? Yes, that's considered crated. Yes. And if the person who asked that needs additional information, just let us know at exhibits@bakingexpo.com. But to answer your question, you mentioned everything will need to be crated upon arrival. Does crated include pallets that are shrink wrap? Next question, when will we receive the move-in times? The move-in times are already on the Exhibitor Resources page. We have a targeted move-in and a targeted move-out schedule. It's a map, and there are links to the map on the website, and you can go to Exhibitors and then click on Resources. The next question, do all contractors that are not Freeman require an EAC form? Yes. In order for an outside third-party contractor to come into the LVCC convention hall that is managed by Freeman, all other outside vendors, EACs, must register. And there will be a foreman going around double, triple checking. So you must make sure that if you are hiring a third-party vendor, EAC, to do anything for your booth, that you register them as EAC. Next question, do we need to have safety vests for setup and takedown? No, we don't require a safety vest, but we obviously want everyone to be as safe as possible, so we don't require safety vests. Next question, how do we get a wristband? Do we just show a driver's license or ID? No, you would just go to the entrance door and security. You would tell them the exhibiting company name and they will have an exhibitor list. If you're on that list, we will give you a wristband. We won't necessarily ask for IDs. If we are handing out packaged food, do we still need to obtain a sampling form? Absolutely, yes. Center Plate will be walking around the exhibit hall floor, making sure that all exhibitors who are sampling food, whether it's packaged or unpackaged, have their form completed through Center Plate, and as well as having maybe a wash station as well. So you always want to check with Center Plate in regards to your plan for serving food. Okay, this one says, never mind, just answer my question. Great. Can I please see the wash station and Freeman Desk floor plan for the West Hall, please? Yes, let me go back. Wash stations for West Hall are in the back two areas, here and then over here. And it's very similar for North, in the back here and over here. Are there any celebrity appearances at this event? If so, where do we find this information? Of course, I'll be there. We have on the website from our education team, there's like a ton of exciting speakers, celebrities, things like that. So definitely go to bakingexpo.com, check out our website, and see what cool activities we have going on there. Is there a cost for?
Sorry, just to add to that, I know that Buddy the Cake Boss will definitely be at the Baker Center in North Hall for presentations. Duff from Ace of Cakes will also be there, and his band is actually doing an event on Monday evening that's free to everyone, where it's a concert, like a rock concert that his own band is going to be there, and so that'll be really neat. And then we've managed to get through an international influencer program through social media stars and things like that. We've been able to get a few really kind of big headliner bakers who do some really cool things. We'll also be doing demos in the Baker Center and in the education program. And that's, like Ingrid said, all over the education part of the web.
Thank you, Sam. Next question, is there a cost for shipping direct to the show site and holding until move-in day? No, there is no additional cost for that. So our booth rates include your shipping, your material handling costs to the warehouse and or direct to show site. I understand that frozen refrigerated items will need to go through the marshaling yard, correct? It depends on, so if you're shipping to the advanced warehouse, again, Freeman will have refrigerated and freezer trucks on the docks. So that's why it's very important for you to use those particular labels that are in the Exhibitor Services Manual so that they know what to do with your product. So if you're having a carrier that's driving, that's refrigerated, bringing your product direct to show site, your product will go from that refrigerated truck, your driver, to the Freeman refrigerated storage, if that makes sense. Is it possible to receive the ongoing Q&A via email? I'm not sure I understand this question. Is it possible to receive the ongoing Q&A via email? This recording, this webinar will be recorded and posted within 24 hours on the website. So I think that's what you're asking for. And it's all still being recorded. So you should be able to listen to the questions and the answers as well.
Sorry, Ingrid, just to add to that, I think also if you go to the bakingexpo.com website and go to Exhibitor Resources, there's the rules and regulations. It's a PDF that you can open, and it has pretty much all of these questions have their own section. So I highly recommend, printing that out or, putting it as a bookmark so you can kind of refer back to it. It's also, I think, in the exhibitor console as well.
Wait, what did you say, Sam? Where are you directing them to?
The rules and regs document on the Exhibitor Resources page. It has a lot of the, the catering, how the freight works, with, advance the show site.
Oh, yes. In addition to the pre-recorded webinars as well. Yes, thank you. Yes. Where can we park during the show? Is there an overview of parking lots available? We have the diamond lots, the silver lots. I think it's diamond and silver lots.
And
Go ahead, Sam.
and technically the blue lot too, for those of you in north, like N1, N2.
Okay. Awesome. I would also like to know how many attendees there are so far. And Sam basically gave a recap of where we stand regarding bakers or retail bakers and wholesale. I clicked on center plate for food sample application, but it only shows me bottled water order. Where should I see in the exhibitor console? You have to go to the exhibitor services manual. You have to click on the exhibitor services manual. It's going to take you to the Freeman portal. And inside the Freeman portal, there's a section in there called catering. And you have to go into those particular forms to submit your orders. Do I need a special permit to use an oven? So there may be, depending on the type of oven, so there may be requirements from the Las Vegas Convention Center. If you have open flame, or if not, you may need additional fire watch security. So it just depends on what you're looking for. But if you want to email us at exhibits@bakingexpo.com, we could do a little bit more research with you about what type of oven you are looking to use. Next question, when will we get the assigned move-in times? So the assigned move-in times is the targeted move-in map that we shared with you guys. And let's see, this was just a sample of the map here, but you can also find the targeted map on our website under exhibitors and then resources. Next question, would a rolling suitcase be considered handling material and need to go through Freeman? Yes. So the rule is, if you can physically hand carry your stuff in, your freight shipment, notebooks, pads, whatever, if you can physically hand carry it in, no wheels of any sort will be allowed. Next question, we have a local bakery making items for us each day. How do we go about getting them delivered? Again, so Centerplate is the exclusive caterer. So I want to make sure that you're working directly with them because no outside food and beverage can come into the convention center without approval from Centerplate. So I would recommend that you please contact Centerplate directly and let them know what your plans are, and they will work with you on how that food, if it can be delivered directly to you in the hall. There are a lot of restrictions on trying to bring in any outside food to the convention center. Is IBIE offering any way to transfer unused exhibitor badges to our customers? Sam?
Sure. So no, unused exhibitor allotments cannot be used for customers. We are looking into possibly a program that will open up at the end of the month where you can purchase passes for customers. But I will say that traditionally speaking, IBIE has not approved such a thing at the last shows when it's come up. But I know I've gotten many emails, especially in the last week or so, from your fellow exhibitors asking about, again, how can I get passes for my customers, whether they be my badge allotments or can I pay for a pass? And so as of right now, the answer is there is no program to do that. But I will say that I hope that I can get something passed to put a program in place for you to do that. So stay tuned. Hopefully by, again, the end of this month, and I know that's cutting it close with IBIE, we can have something put in place and approved by the IBIE Planning Committee to help you guys get a few more of your customers to the show.
Great, thank you. All right, next few questions. Same questions about samples. Again, reach out directly to Centerplate regarding samples. Exhibitor badges. Yes, exhibitor badges will be issued in North and West. North on Thursday and Friday, and then anything after Friday at 5 p.m., you would need to go to the West Hall to get your badges. 2 to 3 hours notice prior to move-in for forklift service. Yes, I would, if you on your target date and time. Freeman is asking that you do 2 to 3 hours after that before you order the labor that you need. I checked yesterday and my move-in time was not there. Megan, we can reach out to you directly and circle back with you to help you find your target on the floor plan. If my target move out is 10 a.m., can my driver check in at 8 a.m.? So let's confirm that with the target move out, because the driver would have to check into the marshalling yard. So we just want to make sure that your driver has the correct information and the time that he or she needs to arrive. So if you could just email us at exhibits at, we can work directly with you to make sure that the timing is correct. I need compressed air for one machine to function. I cannot find that in the Freeman site. It's in the Exhibitor Services manual, and someone just asked me about compressed air. I can kind of see it in my mind, the form. I literally just helped someone with this not too long ago. So I will email you that form for compressed air. If we are sampling prepackaged samples, do we need a wash station? Yes. Are sneeze guards required for serving samples? Not necessarily, but if you feel like that would be an awesome thing to do, you can, but it's not required. At one point it mentioned no selling during the show. What exactly does that mean? It means no cash and carry. So can you collect orders? Yes. Where's the information for registering EACs? It's in your exhibitor console. The exhibitor console tag says badge registration, freely retrieval, and EAC registration. It's all in one link, and it's a single sign-on to register for your badges, purchase your lead retrieval, and also register for your EACs. It's kind of like a one-stop shop there. Am I right in thinking that if we arrive on Saturday morning, we will need to collect exhibitor passes from the registration desk instead of being given wristbands? Saturday is still move-in. The show doesn't open until Sunday, so technically you can still arrive on Saturday and receive a wristband. I can't find the innovation banner information, big banners to watch for the visitors. I can't find the innovation banner information. I don't know what that means. Big banners to watch. Yeah, you email us at exhibits@bakingexpo.com for further clarification on that one. And then I just have a few more left. Do the product shipment need to go to the marshalling yard first? Please clarify. If you are shipping via carrier, driver, coming to direct to show site, all drivers, everyone must check into the marshalling yard. So to answer your question, I believe you're asking that question, and the answer is yes. And then we have a few more before we go. As this is the first year at the West location, do we still take the monorail to the station and walk down? So I'm gonna let Sam talk to the monorail and then the Tesla loop. We have some additional options as well.
Sure. So for those of you familiar with the monorail, that is still in operation, just like it always was in 2019. And so you would get on the monorail at whatever hotel you're at, and then you would get off in that is essentially the silver lot in the front of the West Hall, or not the West Hall, the Center Hall and North Hall, and then you can walk across the parking lot into the North Hall. While you're walking across that parking lot from the monorail, you'll notice kind of where the shuttle buses have always been at IBIE. If you've been there before, there is a kind of a big awning in the middle of the parking lot, and that is the entrance to the new loop that is under the convention center, and that is where you can hop in a Tesla that has a driver, and they will take you through an underground tunnel over to West Hall if you would like to take that over there, or you can use the Sky Bridge to walk over to the West Hall. They honestly take the same amount of time. It's just how tired your legs are that day. If you are staying at the Resorts World Hotel, which is a new hotel down kind of towards the convention center, it's also a Hilton. They actually have their own loop stop. So you will hop in a Tesla at the hotel, go underground, and you pop up at the West Hall loop entrance. So really cool thing.
Great, thank you, Sam. All right, last few questions. Where do I order electrical for my booth? That's in the Exhibitor Services manual, and you can log into the Exhibitor console and click on Exhibitor Services manual to order your electric with Freeman. Next question, what about rolling suitcases out of the convention center? Same rule applies. The rule is hand carrying. So if you can hand carry it out or hand carry it in, it's okay. Our team was planning on carrying in our pop-up booth. We have no wheels. Can we set up on Saturday the 17th? Yes. Yep. So as long as you don't need any rollies or anything like that, you can. The next question, do you have a recycling program? We do. In the exhibitor console, we are going to update some donation information. We have right now, it just says more information to come on the exhibitor console about donations and recycling. So more to come on that. So continue to check the exhibitor services, not the exhibitor services manual, the exhibitor console. All right. And then let's see. All right. So then the next one is, do we have to pay for parking during setup and tear down or show days? Yes. I believe the price is $10.
Correct. In and out privileges.
In and out privileges, yes. Where do I purchase extra badges for exhibiting employees? You can actually still do it now through the exhibitor console to register your badges. Badges above your allotment, your complimentary allotment is $85 per badge, but you can also do it on site as well. In the past, we have always used carts to bring things in. Is this a new rule? This is not a new rule. So that means you got away with it, but this is not a new rule. So you can only get badges in North Hall on 9/15 and 9/16. I thought you can get them in the West Hall on these dates as well. You can. So we have, because registration is in the West Hall for the exhibitors that are in North Hall, we're giving them an opportunity to pick up their badges in North versus having to walk over to West to get them. Is the move-in time the time you should be at the marshalling yard, or is that the time to move into your booth? Your targeted move-in date and time, that is when your driver or carrier need to have been checked into the marshalling yard. Do you have contact details for Centerplate? I can't find anything regarding handing out food and samples. If you log into your exhibitor console and click on the Exhibitor Services manual that's in the Freeman portal, there's an option for Centerplate, and their brochure and information is included in there. Next question, is Centerplate handling the Nevada Health Department inspection that occurs on the first day of the show? Yes, they would definitely be working with the Health and Food Safety Department. That's why it's extremely important for you guys to make sure that you reach out to Centerplate in regards to any sampling and or any wash or hand stations that you may need or that are required. Last two questions. Not sure if you've already answered this, but how the people that will be in the booth and move-in date will enter the facility? You can come into the building. In order to get into the hall, you will go to the security guard that's at the entrance to the hall, and you'll receive a wristband during move-in. When the show opens, you would have to make sure you have a badge. Next or last question, where's the shuttle bus information located? Great question, Sam.
Sure. So the shuttle bus information is on the website, so bakingexpo.com. It's also, coincidentally enough, if you go on our website and click on the housing or hotel tab, it's also, you can sort by which hotels have shuttle bus pickups. I will say, again, if you've been to IBIE, you'll know, but if you haven't, we do have limited service compared to previous cycles just because the shuttle bus industry has not rebounded from COVID and the lack of events in Vegas. And so there is a shortage of buses and drivers. As you all probably know, there's a shortage of drivers. So we only have 4 routes this year rather than typically 8 to 9. So take a look on there. You can email me at smore@bakingexpo.com. Some more like the dessert, so it's 2 O's. And I can answer any questions about badges, registration, housing, transportation, that kind of thing.
Okay, last 2 questions. For takedown crew, are there wristbands too, or are those badges? We will have both. So if you've been in the hall with your badge, you will continue to keep your badge. But if you have a separate crew coming in for move out, we will also have wristbands for them as well. I just see catering info for Centerplate, not samples. It's definitely in there. There's like a huge brochure for Centerplate. You have to read through that information. I can't remember exactly what pages it is on regarding sampling, but it's definitely in the Centerplate brochure. All right. Well, thank you guys all for joining us. We really appreciate it. And again, if for some reason we didn't answer your question, I have a note of a few that I need to follow up with. But if there are any other questions, you guys are always welcome to email us at exhibits@bakingexpo.com for additional information. All right. So I will look forward to seeing you guys in Las Vegas. Have a great day, everyone.